Hello and welcome to Chip Advisor. Yes, hello there. I'm Phil. This is Chip Advisor, and exciting news. We've got the band back together. I am here with
Harry, where's Harry? Harry!
Oh, I'm here. I'm wondering what member of the band I am. I presume I'm the lead singer, but I mean, you may have designs on that. That Phil.
If you were in Take That,
I
who
see.
would you have been?
I see. Oh, well, Robbie Williams, obviously, but I mean, I think Mike's probably got his hand up for that already. But yeah. Well, possibly Howard Donald with the list, but I mean. And Lewis is definitely Gary Barlow in this instant.
I'll take Mark Owen. I'll take Mark Owen off of the shelf, which leaves you with who, Mike?
Jason Orange.
Local to us, or at least he was once. Yeah. Anyway, we're also here with Lewis. How are you, Lewis?
Blessings, friends and listeners. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm enjoying the start of being compared to the Gary Barlow of the group. I'm quite sure how I'm taking that at this point, but I'm going to ponder upon that over the next little while together.
Absolutely.
Hey, Gary Barlow. Listen, parishioners, I've got something to say to you this morning, but I'm going to say it in song. Here's my guitar. Actually, no, he plays the piano, doesn't he? Sorry, I've derailed the podcast. Carry on.
That is unfortunate. And we're here with...
No, Mikey, that was so not right.
Oh, how now, brown cow. It's great to be back, lads. I've really missed it. You've missed it.
Been here, there, and everywhere. How was Taiwan?
Taiwan. A bit underwhelming, to be honest. I went up the second tallest building in the world, the Taipei 101 Tower, and didn't feel that at all.
Oh, really?
I don't know whether that's because I'd been in a plane the previous day, like above the clouds, and
quite
so
tall, yeah.
So I guess there was some sort of relativity there, but yeah, the whole thing was a bit underwhelming, really. I did get an Uber Eats of a Whopper delivered to my hotel room, which was quite exciting. And to be clear, that is grub. And following, my China trip, but yeah, it was good. It was good. I did very nearly get myself into a bit of a faux pas, because I was invited out to adult karaoke. Now, I was hoping that you would hire. You get groupies, so you're singing in your booth, and then girls come. And what I was hoping for was that they would come and sort of go, "Yeah, sing us another one, Mike. You're brilliant," and sort of jump up and down excitedly.
Yeah.
But as I researched it, thankfully, the night before we went. And they do jump up and down excitedly, but not so much in response to your singing. And so I made a good move to opt out of that.
Yeah, probably wise. You don't want another China on your hands.
Exactly. I did.
To pow.
There it is. Yeah.
You are joining us from Reading today. Now, rate these in your best places: China, Taiwan, Reading. 3, 2, 1.
Well, yeah. Well, so Taiwan would be top, but still very underwhelming. Reading second.
Right.
Okay.
Actually, no. What we're talking about? No, I'll put Reading top. Then Taiwan, then China.
Oh.
Reading. I'll paint a picture for you. I'm in a car park. There's a water feature outside the office that I'm at. There are two middle-aged women, both wearing leggings that perhaps are ill-advised. Wandering past me. There's a stop sign and a biffed up. What car would that be? Toyota Corolla. To my left. I hope that paints the scene. But yeah, it's okay.
It does paint a scene. Taiwan, if you think of a lot of Asian countries, their cuisine has travelled well to the West, you think Thai food, Chinese food, etc. You don't really get Taiwanese, restaurants over here that much. What was the Taiwanese cuisine like?
Yeah, no, very much traditional Chinese food, as in traditional Chinese food, as in unpleasant.
Are we talking a lot of fish here?
Yeah, a lot of fish, but also a lot of raw meat. I went to a restaurant with some business folk, and I was there for 4 hours, and they just kept bringing steak and cooking it in front of me. And at the start, they said, "Do you like fish, vegetables, or meat?" And I said, "I like vegetables." Vegetables and a bit of meat. And I feel like they were offended by the fact that I'd asked for just the meat and not the fish. And boy, oh boy, was there some meat coming my way. And you can clip that and use that as you please. It was just round after round after round. This is a rump steak. This is a sirloin steak. This is a something else steak. This is.
I'm going to say this doesn't sound that awful to me.
Yeah, it sounds
You're
fine.
really painting this as an awful situation.
No. Oh, it was one of the better, but it was just the sheer volume, just the like it was non-stop 3.5 hours, and I had the meat sweats very early doors.
I've seen Harry eat a mixed kebab. So are we talking that sort of quantity?
I would say maybe 5 mixed kebabs.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just huge, but nothing to go with it. No side dishes. There were some weird things like fermented eggs and stuff. They came out. I just ignored them. Thankfully, they had a lid on, so you could just hand that back and pretend you'd eaten it.
Well, pretend by
anyway.
Here's my untouched egg.
Well, the lid was still on it, so they didn't know that if you'd eaten the egg, you'd put the lid back on, pass it back.
Right, I see.
So I just left the lid on it, really.
Yeah.
Mike, I'm acutely aware that at nearly 10 minutes in an episode about Pringles, we haven't even said the word Pringles. So I just want to get that done. I am keen to quickly talk about your approach to getting business class flights without paying for business class flights.
Yeah, sure.
Your little life hack, I feel, is one that listeners may appreciate.
Sure thing. So flights to Taiwan direct were around about £800. If you wanted to go business class, it was £3,500. So for about £810, I did the following. I took a ostrich pillow, which you put over your head and means you can sort of lean in any direction. And you've got a pillow strapped to your head. I bought one of those. To be fair, like bubble wrap and sellotape would do the same job if you needed to. And then I
sellotape bubble wrap to your head to get on the plane.
Well,
you
wrap it round. Maybe make a little hole for the mouth, and then sellotape.
Kids at home don't do this.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And what's an ostrich pillow?
Well, it's a bit like that, really. It's like a big
I've got one
bag.
Here. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll go and get one. I've got one.
In my mind, it feels like you're Rod Hull when you've taken Emu. Kind of you've walked in with a puppet and he's attacking you, and
you're attacking Michael Parkinson.
No, it's sort of a bean bag with a couple of holes in, and you can put your hands in and it goes over your head, and you can put your hands into the holes. There's little hand holes, and then lean forward, and that's the perfect sleeping position apparently whilst on a train or a plane. But also there's so much cushion that you can lean left, right, forward, back, and you're insulated and covered.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, got one here.
Phil has appeared with one. I've never seen one of these before. It looks like Phil's now putting on a fluffy stab vest.
You can't put it over a headset. That's what I'll tell you.
Why is it called an ostrich pillow?
Looks like an ostrich's body. I'm not really sure.
Okay,
but
sorry.
Have you seen an ostrich before, Mike?
Yeah, you can imagine some legs coming out of that and a neck.
So have you explained what else you did?
No, so I booked exit seats, fire exit seats,
Yeah.
And you have to sort of say, oh yeah, you have to pretend you read a card, and say, oh yeah, if there's an emergency, I'll help. And then I took a pop-up footstool, which enabled me to lay my legs out in front of me. I had the recliner on. I had the leg room. I had the footstool. I was basically lying down.
And how did they feel about you blocking the fire escape / emergency exit with a footstool?
Well, it was questioned. And then I made out for a bit that I had a poorly leg. To one of the stewardesses. Eventually, it was confiscated, and I didn't go and try and get it back at the end of the flight.
That's a shame.
Yeah, but I would still, even if you're in a standard seat, I think there's scope to have that footstool just to raise your legs up a bit.
No, there's not.
Like in the fetal, you'd be almost in the fetal position.
Oh my, yeah, right. Talking of fetal positions, Pringles.
Oh yeah, they lie a bit fetally, don't they?
Well, I got sent a message about this. Is crazy. About there is something called the Pringles maneuver. Okay.
Yeah.
In midwifery.
Oh, I was going to say, is that when you put them two in your mouth and you pretend you're a duck?
Yeah. So the midwives do that to entertain the lady who is trying to push a child out. Yeah. Yes. It says on this website at least it says.
What does it say, Phil?
For the love of monkeys, do not click Google. Do not click images at this stage.
Oh, have you done that?
No. I was just worried for you.
I think Lewis has. There's going to be an inquiry in the diocese because of what he's watching on his computer, I think.
No, there was quite a pause and a pale look that had come across Phil's face, and I was worried for him.
Well, I think the trouble is, we're heading down this avenue for sort of middle-aged men who don't know a lot about these things. One of which is Mike, who starts to be sick at the nearest mention of anything slightly intimate.
Please don't talk about fallopian tubes at any point.
Precisely. and now, Phil, you're about to tell us what the Pringles maneuver in childbirth is. I just feel we're on rocky ground. Rocky ground.
True. I mean, I got told about this by Nancy. She sent me a message and said, have you heard of the Pringles maneuver in midwifery? I mean, when you search for it, it says the maneuver requires a mobile, compliant woman. And it's seemingly to do with sorting out a shoulder
We'd all like
issue.
one of them, wouldn't we?
Oh, come on.
Michael Botto. So, yeah, it's to do with sorting out a shoulder issue during labor, I assume. Yeah,
the husband said to the wife, or they don't need to be married. That's not these days, modern times. The male, the man, who is presumably not giving birth, although anything's possible these days, is saying to his other better half, "Oh, can you just give me a quick shoulder massage because it's really hurting at the moment?" Because I can tell you that is not going to go down very well.
It's pretty much what Mike's did. No, it's to do
I did
with...
not. I ordered a pizza. That's all I did. That was the only controversial thing.
Yeah.
It's
to contribution.
As far as I can see, it's to correct a shoulder position that the baby might be in that involves you having to stick your arm in and.
Okay, right. I like Pringle flavors. What's your favorite flavor of Pringle?
Okay, so Pringles then were made out of circumstance by Procter & Gamble. They wanted to solve the issue.
Now hold on. They were made out of circumstance. What's that?
It's not an ingredient. It's not an ingredient.
Okay.
Well, they were trying to solve a problem, as I should have said. Okay, because crisp lovers, or in America as they were, chip lovers, liked crisps, but they were really greasy and used to get loads of broken bits. So Procter & Gamble got a scientist, a chemist guy called Frederick J. Bauer, to try and create a formula to create a shape of crisp that wouldn't break. And so he then created this sort of saddle shape you see now on
How
the
are you going to
Pringles.
eat it?
What?
If a crisp that doesn't break, you're not going to be able to eat that.
Well, yeah, okay, not an everlasting crisp,
Right.
but more of a crisp shape that you could package, and it'd be less likely to.
Okay, in transit rather than in consumption.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, by all means, do break it when you eat it. Don't swallow a Pringle whole. And I'm not sure it's possible, but probably don't try it. So anyway, Frederick J. Bauer, he created this geometric formula to create this saddle shape, and then they could be made put in the vacuum sealed cans that we still have today, which is great. But the crisps that they made weren't very good, so they kind of shelved that idea. And it was in the 60s they again had a look at it, and they got someone else to try and make a crisp out of dehydrated potatoes and rice and corn and wheat and stuff it was all a paste, and then they used Bauer's sort of cookie cutter shape to shape them, and then Pringles were created. And I mean, linked to Smarties, which, if you remember, were called like sugar shell chocolate beans or something when they first started. Pringles were initially called newfangled potato chips.
Oh.
Because that's what they were. But the name stuck for a little bit, and then they decided to call them Pringles. No one really knows why. There's lots of rumors.
Our podcast was originally called Monotone Middle-Aged Men Droning About Food.
Correct.
Mm.
Yeah, correct.
Remember that?
What was the name that I much preferred? Oh, Blurred Limes. I had a really good logo for that. Yeah. That's really good. We could have been Blurred Limes, but as it is, we're not.
The problem is with that, Phil, as I pointed out at the time, is a lot of people have heard of TripAdvisor. Not everybody has heard of the pop song Blurred Lines.
I hadn't until 3 years after its release.
Right.
Yeah, the slightly difficult pop song Blurred Lines, indeed.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's stick with TripAdvisor for now.
Yeah,
then.
yeah. I think we're fine.
So Bauer, go back to the chemist, Bauer, he was famous for this Pringles shape, and it became, I think he got quite rich off it because they sold quite a few Pringles since, and I assume he got the patent on the design or something like that. So he actually, when he died, requested to be buried in a Pringles can.
Oh,
so he was his cremated remains. What actually fitted of his cremated remains went into the Pringles can. Lewis, I don't know if you know this, but I'm coming to you here.
Yeah, okay.
An average sized person, how much cremated remains does that make?
No, this is my specialist subject. In Pringles cans, I would say you're looking at more than one Pringle can.
Really?
I would say you're probably looking at a couple
as in
of
a full-size one?
Yeah, you're probably looking at a couple of Pringle cans worth.
Are you?
Yeah,
Really?
it's a surprising. Yeah.
Well, but the bits that are left in the cremation is just the burnt bone, right? So it doesn't matter how big you are, your bones are going to be a similar size.
Well, I am quite big boned.
That's not true. Surely, Harry. Surely, if you're 8 foot, you're going to have bigger bones than a 5 foot.
No, precisely. I sorry, not precisely, because that's not what I said. But yeah, the only differential is height.
Yeah,
and there's not the average height. So I've been told is 5'2", which means I'm a good 5 inches above the average.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, precisely. But no, anyway. So I'm sorry. That's because all the other bits just vaporize away, don't they?
Do they? What's left? What's actually in that little pot?
It's the burnt bones and like your fillings.
Yeah, there's a bit of grinding down of bones involved as
well. Is that it?
Does it? Yeah. Did they actually put it through a grinder, a blender, Lewis? Have you ever seen it happen?
I have not seen. I've not gone behind the scenes at that stage.
Not part of your
course?
They
put it through a blender.
No, they're not going to.
Not exactly.
It'll be a
Mike,
blender.
your hand is your
yeah.
hand is on your screen, but it's covering up your mic slot.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
But your
I'm
lifeline is
horrified by
very
this.
long.
I thought it would you'd just kind of because bones. If you cook bones in an oven, if you cook chicken on the bone doesn't disintegrate. So it must be quite hot.
Yes,
but
so
you're
there is
cooking them,
other
you're
work that needs to,
incinerating them.
yeah, there is other work that needs to be done to get the bones into.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
Like what?
It's not 2 hours at 200 degrees.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like a steak with a bit of
What?
pepper and salt.
Why not? What? So, oh no. Well, this is why I've always maintained I never want to be cremated. I want to be buried.
Yeah, me too.
Primarily because on the off chance that I'm still alive, and then I'm in the coffin, and then they roll me in to get burnt and seemingly other stuff chopped up or something. Goodness knows what Lewis is going to reveal. Then
don't reveal it.
If I'm in a coffin, I can knock on it and go, "Sorry, misunderstanding here." But if I'm being rolled into a fire, I'm a bit stuffed, don't I?
Yeah, I think your view on the time scale between your supposed death and when your funeral's taking place.
Yeah, it's about 6 weeks these days, isn't it?
Well, it could be, yeah.
I like a giant pestle and mortar.
Yes.
Basically.
Oh gosh.
It's not a bullet whatever the word is.
Juicer or
a NutriBullet.
NutriBullet, that's the word.
Yeah, you do have to be careful though, people with cremation of like if you've got any kind of pacemakers or things like that, because I believe they could explode.
Oh,
right.
That's not good.
I mean, what's the danger of that in that scenario?
Well,
you're not going to get electrocuted.
It won't do much for the old furnace.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So in short, Lewis, if I was to be cremated and Shaquille O'Neal was to be cremated, would we both fill a similar size Pringle tube?
Yeah, it's gonna be similar sized.
But he's 2 foot taller than you, Mike.
Yeah. So
that's my question.
So no doubt he would be. There'll be slightly more, but yeah.
I didn't know that this would go down the route of comparing cremated remains of Shaquille O'Neal to Mike.
I'm glad for the first time ever I've got some expertise to bring to this podcast.
I mean, there's proper expertise here.
I mean, I remember chatting once. We had, when I used to run a youth group, we had Ian Newman of Newman's Funeral Directors in.
Retired.
Well known.
Yeah. He came in and did a talk to the kids. I can't remember why. Freaked them out, presumably. And he said that once they pronounce someone dead and they do a check by putting a mirror in front of their face to see whether it steams up.
What, at the funeral parlour?
No.
Okay. Come on.
The nurses / doctors. I can speak of this because I've been. The nurses / doctors do come and make a pronouncement, and there are quite a lot of tests when even it's very obvious that this person is no longer with us. But I've never seen them pull out a compact mirror.
Well,
put it in front of the person's face.
Well, Ian Newman told us he had this mirror, right? And they
other funeral directors are available.
They are. They're popping up everywhere because there's loads of money in funeral directing. Anyway, it's not a job I want to do, so I'm not. So he had this mirror, and he did a check on this lady that was pronounced dead, and it steamed up, and he was like, "What's going on?" Anyway, she lived for 2 years longer after that.
But I'm sorry, what? Okay, right, no.
She'd been pronounced dead at the scene, but actually she wasn't dead.
By who? Who had pronounced them dead?
Well, they called in a funeral director. Someone had.
She'd been to
asleep.
She'd been to the hospital.
She was just asleep.
I don't know where she was when she died, but he went in there. They called in a funeral director, and he went, "Oh, okay, yeah, we'll grab the body." Anyway, I don't know whether he does.
We'll grab the body.
Okay. I don't know what he does.
Over the shoulder.
It's that level of service that makes Newman's the number one funeral directors in the region.
And
I'll grab the body.
Apparently.
I'll grab the body.
Was he referring to him as Dr. Newman at the time?
I don't know, but he checked. For some reason, he decided to check. I'm sure he said that they do it occasionally when they're unsure if they can trust the. I don't know. Anyway,
and this is why I feel you want a walkie-talkie and a burial.
Oh, walkie-talkie would be ideal. Actually, that would solve the problem. You wouldn't even need the mirror. But yeah, so anyway, it steamed up, and she lived another 2 years after that.
Okay.
So
right, we're putting that anecdote in the box with manure, the farmer's manure anecdote. Who do we need to? Oh no, you're on your phone. Someone needs to ring Mr. Newman.
Oh no, because I don't think he's
retired.
well. I don't think he's well at the moment, so don't bug him.
Oh, all right, okay. Well, someone
don't take a mirror to him.
I know.
I think his wife is checking every 10 minutes with the mirror just to make sure.
When she falls asleep, does he get the mirror out?
Oh, I don't know.
Just to make sure.
Anyway,
I think we're gonna probably need to speak some sort of legal advisors as to whether that bit stays in.
Anyway, so Julius Pringle, who's the character on the tubes, don't you think he looks like Dr. Robotnik from Sonic?
It does a bit.
Yeah, thanks.
He's got a name, has he? Julius Pringle.
I'm just gonna have a look at this.
He was originally called Mr. P, and then a rumor spread online that he was called Julius, which was a completely made-up rumor. But Pringles decided to go with it.
I tell you who I'm seeing.
Lovely.
Tell you who I'm seeing.
Go on.
Max from Guess Who?
Yes. You're not wrong there.
Look him up.
But you'll note that the newest edition, because they changed him slightly each time, has no hair. He's gone bald.
Bald on the top.
Yeah. So he's gone bald. That's
well. I mean, he has. I mean, while you're listening to this, viewers, please look it up because he has a pair of eyebrows very similar to the eyebrows I can see on Mike's screen at the moment. They're just but they're very animated, like Mike's are. So, have you got any way, Mike, just quickly, of donning a fake moustache so that we can see whether you are actually Roger Pringle from the Pringles?
Julius,
right. So
Julius.
in my car, I've got my passport.
Yeah,
a McDonald's ketchup sachet and a Werther's original. I could do the Werther's original, I suppose.
Werther's original.
My car key.
Oh no, that's going to be Hitler-esque.
No, it is very Hitler-esque. We're not carrying on this. Gosh, we've already got a lawsuit. Don't now start doing Hitler impressions. Oh gosh. Anyway, let's move on. So, Pringles got in trouble with the FDA in America, which is the Food Standards Agency. I don't know what the FDA stands for. It must be Food Something Agency. And they ruled in 1975 that they could no longer call them chips in America, which is the American word for crisps. And because they didn't have enough potatoes in them, and they said they can name them potato chips made from dried potatoes. Pringles didn't like that idea and decided to call them potato crisps in America.
Right.
The problem with that is in the UK, when they got released in the UK, they tried claiming they were potato crisps, and they weren't. And because of the various tax rules on products containing potatoes and not, they had to pay $160 million in taxes to the UK government because they had categorized them wrongly. So Pringles, when they first came out in the UK, sort of like early to mid 90s. Do you remember them coming? I remember thinking they're a rich person's snack.
Yeah, once you pop, you can't stop. All of that. Yeah, I remember.
And I was at school at the time. I think you through probably, I don't know, full-time employment or something. But no. I was at school, and I remember people had Pringles released these little containers that you could put maybe like 10, 15 Pringles in.
Mm.
And rich kids had them in their lunchbox. They could decant them from a big tube. I don't think they do them anymore because they release the smaller tubes that you buy in airports, and other establishments probably.
Tesco's meal deals.
Tesco's meal deals. You can get Pringles.
You can get small Pringles in there.
Oh wow, that is exciting news. Do they do barbecue in small? Because I only ever see sour cream, and I'm not.
Yeah, I think I only ever see sour cream or original.
Oh, original. What?
And you do have to forgo your chocolate bar in your meal deal to have the crisps.
Presumably original are Harry's favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not a cheese and chives or whatever it is fan.
Sour cream and onion.
I'd always have the crisps with the meal deal, rather than a chocolate bar.
Would you? Yeah, I like a Doritos chili heat wave with my meal deal.
Yes, yeah. I like a square. Are they Smith's squares?
Oh, they are. They are good crisps.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Well, but I think Lewis, you've just fallen into the trap. They're not crisps, are they? They're reconstituted potato with a bit of added rice.
They're made of paste.
Don't let the tax man find out.
I was going to say Smiths are going to be in big trouble now.
Yeah, not good for Smiths. So Pringles, there's been a variety of like special edition flavors. Then they did multi-grain ones in the UK to try and be slightly more healthy, which I've never eaten. I don't believe. I mean, who's buying them? In America, they released a series of low-fat Pringles because they were trying to halt an obesity crisis that was happening in America in the 90s.
Did it work?
Pardon?
Did it work?
I don't know. I've not been there. I assume it did.
I think Pringles is the least of their worries, to be honest. But
well done, Pringles.
Yeah. So the problem was that they didn't realize, but they put a chemical in called Olestra and into the Pringles did into the low-fat Pringles, and the problem there was that has very complicated side effects and often loosens stools. Oh. And there are lots of tales online if you search for Pringles low fat in America of people who have had terribly embarrassing situations caused by eating too many Pringles.
This is different to the stool that Mike was putting his feet on.
Oh,
the old aeroplane.
Oh,
you'd hope so.
Lovely recall.
Yeah, that puts
you
a very different slant on that story now, doesn't it?
You don't want a loose stool on an airplane.
No. Mike's big stool. Yeah. Well,
no wonder he didn't take it off the plane.
Yeah, no wonder they confiscated it.
Oh, there was that tale. I'm sure we covered it when it happened about a year ago. Yeah, about the guy who had an upset tummy on a plane. Yeah. Anyway, do you want a quick quiz about Pringles?
Sure thing.
Okay, here we go. It's a quiz. It's a quiz. It's a quiz. It's a quiz.
So we were listening to the one of the pods the other day in the car, the children and I, and my son said, "Oh, does Phil not get embarrassed every time he hears that?"
Oh, that's the least of my worries.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I think he quite likes it.
Oh, it's not my finest hour. Of course, it's not. But no, I've got over being embarrassed many years ago, much to my children's disgust. So we've got a quiz here based on worldwide Pringle flavors and also an illness which causes severe pain. And this is Pringles or shingles.
Oh my goodness.
So I've got the name here. I will read you out a word from a country, and it will either be a translation of shingles in a country or it will be a Pringles flavor. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. So, I can't help feeling this format is really being shoehorned more and more. But no, let's go with it.
I think it's handy to know if, for example, you're in Armenia. It is handy to know if you suddenly get a rash that's very painful, what it is, so you can go to a chemist or indeed doctors.
Okay, Phil, tension music. Let's do this.
Okay, right. Let's go with some quiz tension. Right. I'll turn up the tension a bit. Okay. So the first one, then, you can all have a guess at it. You have to keep your own scores because it's been, pointed out on numerous occasions that I don't keep any scores. So, Hi Sal. Is that a flavour of Pringle? Or is it... Oh, hang on, that's not going to work. Is that a type of Pringles or shingles? Pringles or shingles? Lewis. Hi Sal.
Pringles.
Pringles, please, for the sake of the title of the quiz. Lewis said Pringle. Harry.
I'm gonna say shingle.
It's crucial because shingle singular is like a small stone, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
It was,
You could have Pringles, shingles, or shingle.
Well, next week you can make the quiz.
I'm very confident that this is Pringles.
Why are you so confident?
Because I think it's salt.
Oh, it's.
I went down that line as well.
Hai Sao is Chinese, so Mike has been to China recently.
Yeah.
Or seaweed, and
Excellent.
it is a Pringles flavour. So keep your own scores.
Seaweed
Next one.
famously salty.
Correct.
And famously, you can't get it at the local Chinese.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
it still rankles, doesn't it? Still
Absolutely.
rankles that.
I've got so many scars from this podcast. I'm still working through with my therapist.
Oh, there's going to be more scars after this quiz because I need to talk to you, Lewis. Okay, next one. Kozapooked. Is that Pringles or shingles? Harry.
Poza.
K-H-O-Z-A-P-U-K-H-T. Kozapooked.
Kozapook. I mean, I can't help thinking that we're making light of shingles when it's actually quite a painful.
I wouldn't. Again, my mother had it for a very long time.
Oh,
She was
Julie.
very ill, so I would never dare make light of it. And in fact, the only thing in the end that sorted it out was she took arsenic from a homeopath, and that got rid of the shingles.
I wondered where that was going. I really did.
Yeah.
I did.
So I don't recommend it, arsenic, as a general rule.
I took a sharp intake of breath at that point. I'm going to say shingles, please.
Shingles. Okay, Harry.
Yeah, she took the arsenic. Mr. Newman had to pop round with his mirror just to make sure she was still alive. I too am going to say shingles.
Lewis.
Right, well, on that basis, I'm going to say Pringle.
It's shingles. It's Armenian for shingles. Kozapooked. There we go. Okay. Pasavi Opar. It's probably Pashovi Opar, actually, if I'm honest.
Pringle.
You're going Pringle, okay.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm gonna go Pringle as well. That's cheese and onion.
Oh,
I think it's seafood related. I'm going to go Pringle.
you're all wrong. It's Slovakian for shingles.
Oh no.
Yeah. Okay, let's go with, because I've mixed up the order. This, wish me luck here because I'm going in. Safoto Sherakurabi. No, I'm going to say it again. Safoto Sherakurabu.
I don't think it matters how you say it, to be perfectly honest.
Okay, Harry. Shingles or Pringles?
Pringles.
Lewis.
Shingles.
Pringles, please.
It's Japanese for soft shell crab flavoured Pringles.
Lovely.
Okay. Next one. We've got 2 more. Let's call it 2 more. I think we haven't got enough time for any more. Takoyaki.
Okay.
Takoyaki.
Ooh.
Michael, you can go first.
I think that's shingles.
Okay. Lewis?
Oh, it sounds a bit
Actually,
like...
can I change my mind?
Oh.
No, you can't.
Oh, I think it's a meat-based.
Sounds a bit like
Anyway,
teriyaki, but I'm still gonna go shingles because you've had Pringles a couple in a row.
Okay.
Oh.
Harry, you're just playing the numbers game, right?
It's
Okay.
like card counting in Vegas, honestly.
It's really doing me well.
I'm gonna say Pringles just to be different.
It is Pringles. It's fried octopus balls.
Yeah.
I said
Stephanie-
seafood, didn't I? No, I didn't.
No,
Yeah,
you
meat.
said meat.
For a man who hates fish, you do think a lot about seafood in quizzes.
It's just easier that way. Okay.
Yeah.
Zamal Kaftan. Zamal Kaftan. Harry.
Well, we've had 4 Pringles in a row now, so I'm gonna say shingles. Shingles, please, Bob.
Okay, Mike.
Shingles, please.
Lewis.
I'm gonna go Pringles.
Gone Pringles.
Yeah.
It's from Mongolia, and it is shingle.
Yes.
Tot up the scores. What have you got?
I've got a 3.
I have a 1.
I think I might have got 3 as well, but
I think he has. It's gone to the tiebreaker. Well done, Harry.
Okay.
Oh,
the tiebreaker. This is genius.
Okay.
Is tie. It's a tiebreaker. Oh, Plan Muk Yang. Plan Muk Yang. It is tie, but is it for shingles or a flavour of Pringles in this tiebreaker?
That's very good.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump straight in with it's Pringles.
Well, I mean, I'm going to say shingles then, just so we can end this quiz one way or another.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike.
Is it 'cause I'm cool?
Oh.
Is it 'cause I'm cool?
Twice.
Thank goodness. What was it?
Twice. It was grilled squid. Grilled squid. So well done, you.
Oh gosh, all of the seafood.
Well done,
Excellent.
you. Okay, so we've got.
I've got a quick question, if that's all right.
Oh yeah, I was just about to go to questions.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious. I don't think they've made mini or giant Pringles.
Need new machines for that, wouldn't you?
I feel like they've missed a trick. Well, they just need smaller machines and bigger machines, don't they?
I think
Same
they've
thing,
made
just smaller and
Pringles
bigger.
I think they've made them that go in packets in America, like sort of crisp packets. So I imagine they're smaller. But
Oh, that's ruining the whole concept to begin
And
with.
then, why would you want a bigger one?
I'm imagining Pringles in a Smartie tube now.
yeah, no. Oh, that would be cute. I could nibble
Like
on
a
those.
bit like a poppadom.
Well, poppadoms are big, aren't they, mate?
I remember in the Smarties episode, I didn't know what the firing of the Smartie thing across the room was.
Yeah.
I mean, can you do a similar thing with the Pringles, empty Pringles
Yes,
tube?
you can with the lid. Yeah,
Like
it does
some sort
work.
of cruise missile.
You'd have to be Superman to do that.
You stamp on it.
It's really
Stamping.
key that prior to launch, you make sure that foil lid is well and truly removed because it's going to disrupt airflow.
You are right. It'll be like the flap you have at the back of your mouth that lets.
Why?
in and
How
out
is
air.
how is that going to distract airflow? Sorry,
Well, because
you're expelling air out. If anything,
Yes.
it's going to forcefully push it even more.
Oh, I
Oh,
don't
I
think it
don't
is.
know about that.
Well, that's something for us
I-
to try at the weekends.
I mean, it depends how much it's been teared off, isn't it? Really, if it's a hanging Chad, as made famous
It'll be-
by
It's mostly flaccid, isn't it? The foil,
every week.
the foil
Every
thing. It just,
week you have to use that word. No, because if you're over half over 50% stuck down, then it's going to hamper. If you've only got like an inch or so that is just hanging there, then it's not going to be a problem, is it?
I'm going to have to take us back because Harry didn't quite finish the sentence before. The hanging Chad as made famous by, and I was waiting for the answer because I don't know what you're talking about.
I have no idea.
This is brilliant. The George Bush Al Gore election of 2004 sometime.
Oh, was that the paper which you stamp it through?
And
one for our younger listeners.
Yeah, and he basically won the presidency because they didn't use the ones that hadn't been punched right through properly, and that was called a hanging Chad.
Gosh, there's been so much information about this: how to use mirrors effectively, 2004 American elections.
Might not be. Might be
cremation.
Did you know that? Did you know that wombat poos, despite having a circular anus, are all cubical?
Yeah. That's
Cubicle.
not a word. I mean, that's not the correct.
They're all cubicles.
Cubic.
Cuboid.
They're all cubic.
Cuboid.
They're perfectly formed cubes.
Mm.
So it's like do you remember that game where you had to get the shapes into the little holder when you were a toddler?
Yeah.
Imagine the reverse of that, but trying to squeeze a cube out of a circle. But
because wombats only miss squares.
That's exactly what it is. After 8,
it's a lovely callback, Lewis. Lovely callback.
Yeah. After 8 and solving squares. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Thor. Listen to questions.
The shape of a Pringle is a hyperbolic paraboloid. If you needed to know, I'm here for that.
Right. Have you got any questions, Phil?
We've got some questions. If you were to be buried in a container, what container would it be? If you're going to go non-traditional, what would you go for?
I think we've already mentioned it. It's from the old Ghost episode, Vitalite tub.
It's useful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Strong seal for a butter.
Can I be buried in a bath? I do like a bath.
Yeah. Well, not unless you're sealing a bath.
Well, I could be buried in a bath, couldn't I?
Oh, buried, but I'm talking. You're being cremated, unfortunately, Mike. In Lewis's horrible machine that grinds you.
Yeah. That'd be all right. In a plastic bath, it'd just melt.
Well, no. Hang on. I'm not talking about putting a bath into. I mean, gosh, if they're going to have issues with a I don't know, a pacemaker,
coming off that.
sticking a plastic bath into a crematorium, they'll shriek with horror seeing that go through the curtain.
Tin bath?
Yeah, tin bath. You've got more of a problem, but if the temperature's high enough, it will melt, right?
I'm not sure you understand the question. It's what you're.
No, I do. Where are my remains going to be stored?
Yeah.
Toblerone.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Be a good one.
Yeah. Be good.
You'd have to do it with your arms up to make yourself thinner. But
is that how it works? When you're cremated, do they then lay you back out into a shape of a person, like the outline they put on like Naked Gun? I mean,
no. I'm just trying to fit into a Toblerone.
No, you're being cremated in Lewis's machine.
We do encourage use of biodegradable receptacles.
Well, much like a Toblerone box.
Yeah, Vitalite's not.
I'd quite like to be in a big balloon.
Big balloon?
Yeah. And I can be
accidentally pop you at one point.
Yeah, so an inflated balloon, and there's all my remains are in there. Like a
helium
you get
balloon.
The big ones, can't you?
It would be the worst children's party surprise ever.
And then I'll float over the blue pool, and then someone can shoot it, and then all my remains will sort of descend upon the blue pool near Swanage.
And thus they will get no more visitors.
They've got the longest rope bridge in the country now. So
certainly have.
Shout out to the blue pool.
Congratulations to them. I think I'd probably like to be put inside a ukulele and then you just cover up. That'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
It would dull the tone when strumming if someone chose to play me. But
okay, I am so. But surely you'd be in a double bass. You're not going to fit in a ukulele. I don't understand what this conversation is.
I've got a tenor ukulele, which is a bigger
that you could fit inside.
I don't know, Lewis. Can your machine get me in a ukulele?
He's been cremated.
Oh,
Oh my
sorry. So
goodness.
okay,
He's clocked it. He has clocked it.
I was
Yeah, we know.
I
We
had
know.
this whole conversation in that you were going to like size up.
Yeah.
a
You were
total.
going in. You
We're
were going
not-
in rather than
We're
out.
not,
weren't you?
we're not
It-
using
it
a double
buried
base as a
in.
coffin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
the
were going
holes-
in.
the
You were
holes
going
are
in rather than
inappropriate.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be
Um,
able to get me in using a funnel that you would, the sort of thing you'd use to put oil into an engine. You could get me into a ukulele, I reckon. Anyway,
Look,
other
lads,
questions.
Talking of in and out, I'm going to have to go and let you tackle these questions. I'm so sorry, but
Hey, no
Reading
problem, it's
waits
tradition.
for no man.
Yeah.
No, that is fine.
But yeah, lovely to see you all.
where are you next, Mike? Bracknell?
Swindon.
It's like the grand tour of David Brent,
Evie.
isn't it? Yeah. Exciting times for me. But yeah, I'll catch you soon.
Absolutely. See you, Mike.
Bye bye.
After all this time, I'm only slightly
He's
panicked.
still
but
there? Oh no, he's gone.
I'm slightly panicked, but I can just see my emails pinging through. I have just had an email from the bishop. This isn't going out live.
We're
is
not
it?
going out live, are we? Flipping it.
Well, he's confused why you've got a crematorium installed in your garage.
Yeah, if I go quiet for a minute, I'm just checking the contents of what's happened. I may be unemployed in a few minutes' time.
Okay.
But funeral directing, there's a lot of money in it, Lewis. You'll be all right.
There is more money in that than in
Exactly.
being a man of the cloth or woman, of course.
Absolutely. We've got a question from Joe. And she says, is it true that in America these are called crisps rather than chips as they're reconstituted potato? I could Google it, but I suppose I'd rather hear it from you. Yes, Joe, you are right. You are right. So you've heard from us that you are correct. Graham says, I compared Pringles with Lidl and Aldi. Do you pronounce it Lidl or Lidl? Just whilst we're here.
Lidl.
Yeah, well, because I don't randomly go into Dutch accents on a whim. So
that is a shame.
actually, no. Talking of that, so Matilda is slightly obsessed with Taylor Swift.
Oh, if you watch Welcome to the Eras Tour.
Yeah. So she and this is what I'm coming on to say. No, I haven't personally, but she will have.
Yeah.
But she's like, oh, she's doing her Eras tour, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Why are you saying that for? But she's saying it in the American accent, and she actually means era, and so I had to have a long conversation with her about that. But yeah,
how long?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I just anything to drown out Taylor droning on about Matt.
It's a very short word.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, I mean, so on Disney, we got a Disney Plus deal. It was like $2.99 a month, but you get some adverts. And we were watching Only Murders in the Building. Don't know if you've seen that. It's got Steve Martin and Martin Short in it. And,
yeah. I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen it, but yeah.
And the girl. Selena Gomez. Anyway, it's got them in it, and but the problem is it kept getting interrupted by adverts on Disney for Taylor Swift. But it would just constantly go, "Welcome to the Eras Tour," but really loud. So that would go around our house. So I started saying it around our house to try and fit in with the kids.
Yeah.
And last week, me saying it so much meant that my eldest, who was a teenager 2 days ago, happy birthday, she stormed out and got really, really angry, which confirmed she was a teenager.
Yeah.
She was not happy. Anyway, so Graham says, I compared Pringles with the Lidl and Aldi own brand and couldn't taste the difference. Who makes these variations? Surely it must be the same company, Pringles themselves, rather than each supermarket having their own Pringle making setup. Or are they made in China? Harry, you've got knowledge of European supermarket chains?
Yeah, well, I mean, I can only talk about breakfast cereals, really. And in that Kellogg's or tend to make all the breakfast cereals, but it's just they're different standards, right? I feel like, have we talked about this before? I have a feeling that we've actually talked about this before, but they only the top cornflakes go into their packets, but they then sell on the sort of lesser standard ones to your Lidls, your Aldis.
It's the same with baked beans. I need to know someone who worked in the bean industry. Heinz, your Branston's, and your Tesco's essentials value.
Yeah, they're essentially the same thing, but not quite as good. So I'm saying that Pringles are making all the Pringles because they will have the machine. There's only one machine in the whole world that makes Pringles, a bit like Bertha. Do you remember Bertha?
Bertha, a lovely Bertha.
But
Yeah.
sometimes I think it's a dream when you work out what you. That one.
Yep.
Yeah. She'd make a Pringle. She'd know what to do.
She could do anything. She could.
Yeah. But yeah.
So
I think all made by the same people.
Okay, and that is the official answer.
Yeah.
Okay. James says, "Why do British people eat more sour cream and onion than any other country? It is a rubbish flavour Pringle." Can't.
I mean, cheese and onion in general is the world's worst flavour, in my opinion.
I mean, and your opinion rates ready salted higher, does it?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Oh dear.
These are crazy.
Oh, you'd rather eat a cheese and onion and cope? Well,
yeah, happily.
Yeah. What?
Then yeah.
Next time I'm in our local Tesco's, I'm going to ask which one they sell most of.
Well,
in the old meal deal.
Invariably, I'm there with you, Lewis, despite not having made an arrangement to meet, so we can ask together.
5:30 every
won't
Friday
be weird.
evening.
That won't be. Can I speak to the manager, please?
No, we're not speaking to the manager. We're speaking to the heavily tattooed chap that runs the
the self-serve kiosk.
Okay. So but it's sour cream and onion, not cheese and onion.
But it's the same thing.
I'm not sure I could, in a blind taste test,
thing.
the difference.
Okay, fine. That is fine. Barbecue's the best flavour, right? In this country, at least.
No, I'm not a big fan of the barbecue.
Oh my! Don't say salt and vinegar Pringles.
I was about to say salt and vinegar Pringles.
I do like salt and vinegar.
Yeah, I once ate a whole tube of salt and vinegar Pringles.
Did you then have to get to the toilet quickly?
No, I had to take on liquid quickly because I sort of sucked all the liquid out of my whole body.
I was talking to Jo about this yesterday. Whenever we decided we were doing Pringles, because she's a big fan of the salt and vinegar, but she reckons they are the Pringle with the most flavour, or the crisp with the most flavour. The salt and vinegar Pringles are very salt and vinegary.
Yeah,
it's almost like she's never had a pickled onion Monster Munch.
Oh yeah.
I think she was particularly focusing on the salt and vinegar.
Oh, okay.
I think a Smith Square, the aforementioned Smith Square, is also a good salt and vinegar.
Yeah, and the texture as well.
Publicity as Ian Newman funeral directors. Wow.
You did want to point out that if you eat too many salt and vinegar Pringles, it does really hurt your mouth.
Yeah.
I'll test that because how many Pringles do you reckon to hurt a mouth? Oh, we'll test that next time we're together because there's football on in the coming weeks, so maybe we can get together and each have a pipe of Pringles to ourselves.
Pipe of Pringles.
Is that the official terminology for a Pringles? A pipe of Pringles.
It's the Alan Partridge terminology. So
wonderful.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So Lewis, you speak of Jo. I hear rumours that it may be her birthday soon.
It is. It's Jo's birthday tomorrow, which of course I'll be making a cake as per usual. So I'm very excited.
Will you be making a cake? Her first ever birthday cake.
Of course I'll be making a cake. I'm always making a cake.
In the shape of a Pringle?
In the shape of a Pringle. It's going to be a savoury cake. So obviously this episode's not going to go out until after her birthday. So I've got and she is in the house, but I think we're okay. I've got a little. It's going to be a prosecco and raspberry cake.
Cake. Going to be a fizzy cake.
A fizzy cake. It's made with a fizzy sponge batter.
Oh, are you going to put one of those sparklers in?
Yes.
That's a good idea.
Certainly am.
How big is it? Is it the sort of thing that could be cut into 14 slices, or are you thinking 6 slices?
I think. Well, no. According to the serving suggestions, which we all know are a made up recommendation, it says this cake serves 18.
Oh,
okay.
Insane.
But those cakes you get in Tesco's in the boxes that say they serve 6, I mean, it's just not.
Now, as my neighbour Harry, I may be
Yes.
messaging you off.
Yes.
I may need a couple of 21 centimetre baking tins.
Oh yeah. Or you could use the big lasagna dish and then cut them out.
Do I have to return it to Phil afterwards?
If you I mean, all for the sake of Joe's birthday cake. Yeah, anything you need. Although you're going to present it to her, and then she's going to say, "Well, you've only made that because they all went on you on the podcast." So perhaps you're actually better off. Perhaps you're better off not making one and
Do I go
saying,
Colin the
"Aha!"
Caterpillar?
But then yeah.
Don't go Colin the Caterpillar. It's the worst cake in the world.
It's not great. It's not great.
Any other business, gents, before we get sued by Marks and Spencers?
Well, I was going to say was that you said that whoever it was that invented the Pringle made it because the oil in potatoes was so high. But have you ever actually tried setting fire to a Pringle?
It's been low on my list of to do.
Yeah, well, try. I mean, there's something else we can try. I mean, I haven't got one here to set fire to, but it's just full of oil. They're absolutely disgusting, Pringles. It's the sort of thing you need to eat without thinking about it.
But it's not fried, is it? It's baked. That's the thing.
Yeah, but it's still full of homogenized fat, I think.
There was rumours that they put cocaine in Pringles, didn't they? Because just a small bit.
No, I think that's Coke.
Really?
I think that's Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, they did at the start. It had a small amount of cocaine in. But when they said once you pop, you can't stop, certainly it did feel that way when they first came out. It was very hard. You can't just have a Pringle.
Yeah. Do we think that the once you pop, you can't stop advertising slogan is one of the best ones and most catchy ones?
Yeah, I would. It's
up
there,
isn't
it?
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing is, it gets in your head, and then you think you're right. I justifiably cannot stop now. So yeah, it works for them.
I can't believe we've got to this point without wondering how many Pringles are actually in the can.
Oh,
do we know the answer to that?
Of course we do. Of course we do. There's about 100 in the average size can.
Wow, that is a lot.
So does it differ then?
That might be it. That might be old news, I think that might be old news because I've certainly noticed the cans are smaller than they used to be.
Oh, here we go.
Of course they are.
And
that's because you've got a meal deal size one.
No,
yeah.
No, but it says there are 4 servings per can approximately, and there's 16 Pringles per serving. So 64.
64.
Oh. There you are.
There's the answer. Any other business, Lewis?
No.
No. Okay. We look forward to seeing your cake that you make. We'll probably put it on the socials.
Yeah. We need a picture of that, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, gents, thank you very much for that, and we will see you next time. We'll be recording during the Euros.
Are we having a Euro feast special?
Oh, that would be good. Maybe the thing is, I ask these things at the end of the podcast, and no one's ever going to hear it. But if listeners want to email in chipadvisorpod@gmail.com, let us know the best European foods for a European football feast. That would be great. Right, have a good week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.